Happy New Year! It's January 1st, but according to Time magazine, as many as 80% of people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions by February. So, if you don't want to be part of these statistics and you want to reach a solid B2 level in 2026, you need a roadmap. I've been an English teacher for 20 years and I hold a Cambridge C2 proficiency certificate. But the most important thing you need to know is that I did all of this without ever living in an English-speaking country. If I lost half my English today and I had to get back to a solid B2 level in 2026, this is exactly the roadmap I would follow. This is a 3-step solo system for 2026. Let's get to work. But before I give you the steps, we need to address why you are stuck. Most students fail because they are still studying like students. You are collecting rules, but you aren't building a system. And chances are you are being more passive than active as a learner. At the B1 level, you have knowledge. You know what the present perfect is. But at the B2 level, you need automation. You need the words to come out without you having to remember them all the time. It has to be something more automatic. When I was starting out, I spent at least 2 years trying to learn English only with books. It helped get the foundation, but it didn't make me fluent. I knew many words, but I couldn't use them. I had to shift my mindset from just learning English to processing English. Today, I'm going to show you how to move English from your notebook into your long-term memory, so that every time you need it, it's right there, ready to be used. I'm about to give you the exact 3-step roadmap to B2. And for many of you, the best way to execute this is through my new app, the B2 Edge. But I want to be very clear. My app is not for everyone. I am looking for a specific type of student. The B2 Edge is for you only if you are already at a B1 level, you can commit to at least 15 minutes of daily activity, and you're ready to actually study actively, not just watch videos. We have a structured 77-lesson curriculum designed for the long haul. If you're just curious or looking for a magic hack, please don't sign up. But if you are a committed learner ready to do the work, I have a 20% holiday discount running until tomorrow, January 2nd. The link is in the description if you are ready to commit to B2 in 2026. Step 1, the input diet. Most students fail because they try to read the news or academic papers they don't even like in their native language. In 2026, the secret is interest-based immersion. You must consume English every single day, but it must be about things you actually care about. For example, if you love jiu-jitsu, watch instructional videos in English or listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. If you're into cooking, watch Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver, not for the recipes, but for the language of the kitchen. If you like technology, you can follow a YouTube channel like MKBHD or The Verge. When you are interested in the topic, your brain stops fighting the language. I've been teaching English for 20 years, and in my experience, the best students were always the ones who already had the habit of watching movies, watching TV series, reading books, listening to music, all in English. You can't replace that immersion outside the classroom. Once you filtered out your content by interest, your next job is to change what you're looking for. Most B1 students are word hunters. They see a new word, they look it up in a dictionary, and they write it down alone. This is exactly why you translate in your head. When you learn words in isolation like this, your brain has to work like a construction worker, trying to glue single bricks together while you're talking. It's just too slow. At the B2 level, we don't use bricks. We use prefabricated blocks of language. If you want to stop that mental lag, you need to start stealing these blocks that natives use every day. The technical term for this is called locations. They make you sound natural and confident. For example, don't just say decide. You can say to reach a decision. B1 students say I decided, But IB2, especially in a professional setting, you want to say something like, we finally reached a decision. It sounds more decisive and sophisticated. What about this one? Don't just say remember. Say to keep in mind. Instead of saying, I need to remember that, say, I'll keep that in mind. You see, it's a block of words. It's a small shift that immediately signals you are an advanced speaker. Another one. Don't just say contact. Say to get in touch with. Natives almost never say, I will contact you in a casual conversation, but they say, I'll get in touch with you. Don't just say use, say to take advantage of. This shows nuance. It means more than just using something. It's about recognizing an opportunity. And here's a bonus one, to make a mistake. I see many students say, do a mistake. But if you learn the block, make a mistake, as one unbreakable unit, you will never make that grammar error again. When you learn the block or group of words, your brain only has to find one piece of information instead of four. This is the secret to that flow you see in native speakers. They aren't faster at thinking. They just have better blocks in their mental library. Remember that. Another aspect of input is grammar. I know for many of you, this is why you feel stuck. You feel like you have to calculate math equations in your head while you speak. In 2026, I want you to stop that. It is much more important to understand the function of a structure, the why behind the words, than the technical name of the rule. Look at the present perfect. The school rule is have or has plus the past participle. The B2 function is simply the connection. Don't worry about unspecified time. Just ask yourself, does this past event have a result in my hand right now? If I say, I've lost my keys, the function is, I am standing in front of my door right now and I can't get in. Let's look at the second conditional. Stop thinking about hypotheticals. Just see the structure as your advice pattern. Every time you want to help a friend, you use this block. If I were you, I would do this. Treat the whole sentence as a single piece of wood. Don't take it apart. One last example, used to. The function is simply your old life. If you're talking about your childhood, use used to. When you focus on the feeling and the situation, the structure starts to feel natural because you aren't thinking about rules, you're thinking about your life. This shift moves you from a B1 student who knows English to a B2 speaker who uses English. But input for input's sake is not enough. You need step 2, which is the output engine. Most students tell me, Thiago, I have no one to speak with. In 2026, that is no longer an excuse. If I were starting over, I would build my own output engine using the device in your pocket, your phone. You can record voice memos on your phone using 3 specific levels of training. Level 1, routine. Every night, record a voice memo on your phone about your day. But remember, no safe English. Don't say, today was good. Use your new blocks. For example, I've had a productive day and I managed to reach a decision on a project I've been working on. Level 2 is the abstract leap. To reach a B2 level, you must be able to discuss ideas. Pick one abstract topic twice a week and record a 3-minute mini speech. Ask yourself, do you think AI will eventually replace teachers? Is it possible to be successful without being a workaholic? Has social media made us more or less lonely? Whose job is it to save the planet? Governments or individuals? Or even, what does success actually mean to you? If you can't articulate your opinions on topics like this, you will never reach a solid B2 level. Level 3 is the media summary. This is how you stop being a passive consumer. After you watch a video on jiu-jitsu or read an article about tech, record a memo summarizing it. For example, I just watched a video about the new iPhone. The creator argued that the hardware is great, but the software is lacking. I'm not sure if I agree because... This is the active study loop. When you hear a phrase you like, pause it. Write down the sentence. Use it immediately in your next voice memo. I know you might hate the sound of your own voice, but you get used to it. I used to feel weird every time I heard my recorded voice, but it allowed me to spot a specific mistake I always made and finally correct it. Now, the output engine is the hardest part of the journey. It's where most people quit. The B2 Edge app is designed to keep you on track through our 77 lesson curriculum, but it requires you to be an active participant. If you are now willing to record yourself, speak out loud, and practice daily, my app will now work for you. We are looking for the serious B1 learners who want to reach B2 in 2026 and stay there. By the way, use the link below to see if you meet the criteria and grab that 20% holiday deal I just told you about before January 2nd. Finally, we have step 3, the longhand anchor. Many students do the work, but they feel like the English leaks out of their brains. If I were starting over, I would use the most powerful brain hack in existence, a physical notebook. When you type, your brain is in autopilot. Writing by hand is a multi-sensory task. You feel the pressure, you see the unique shape of the letters, and you are aware of the spatial position on the page. This tells your brain, pay attention. This is important for our survival. But writing isn't enough. From now on, stop being a passive consumer. Every time you finish a podcast or this video, ask yourself, what is my one main takeaway from this? If you can't answer that, you weren't learning. You were just passing time. The most successful students I've seen in 20 years are the ones who treat their English like a professional project. Every Sunday, sit down for 15 minutes and conduct a weekly review. Answer these 4 questions. What did I actually learn this week? Which topic do I still need to practice more? How can I use what I learned this week in my life? And 4, what do I want to achieve next week? Be specific. I once had a student who thought they were too modern for a notebook. They used every app and AI tool, but could remember a phrase 24 hours later. His fluency only clicked when he started his physical journal and weekly reviews writing by hand. Okay, we've covered a lot today. Reaching a B2 level is a major project, but you just need to follow the system. Step 1, remember? Input. Consume content on topics you actually care about and focus on blocks of words. Don't learn words in isolation. Learn collocations and fixed phrases. Also, when it comes to grammar, focus on the function of the structure, the purpose of that structure. What do you use it for? Not necessarily the rules. Step 2, output engine. Become an active user of English by recording voice memos on your phone every day. You can talk about your routine, you can answer more complex, abstract questions and practice giving your opinion on them, and you can also record your main takeaway from the things you watch, you listen to, and read. Step 3, write by hand. There's something magical about putting pen or pencil to paper. So buy a dedicated notebook for your English practice and studies this year and start writing things down by hand. Also conduct weekly reviews. Reflect on your past learning week. What did you learn? What do you have to improve? What do you need more practice? What do you want to do this coming week? And every time you sit down to practice your English, you consume something in English, always ask yourself, what is my one takeaway from this? Always try to extract at least one big idea, one thing from everything you consume and do in English. I've seen thousands of students who try to hack English, but the ones who succeed are the ones who show up with a plan and are consistent. 2026 is the year to follow a roadmap that actually works. If you're ready for the discipline, let the B2 Edge app organize this for you. Check the requirements. Are you B1? Can you give me 15 minutes a day? And are you in this for the long haul? If the answer is yes, use the link in the description to get 20% off before the deal ends tomorrow on January 2nd. Now I have a question for you. What is the number one thing that has stopped you from reaching a solid B2 level in the past? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading them to create our future lessons. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications because I'm posting every week this year in order to keep you on track. And if you're wondering how to take this all the way to a C2 level without ever leaving your home country, you can watch this playlist right here to see my full story of how I learned English to an exceptional level. Happy New Year again, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.